Hello there everyone, my name is Nathan Birch. In this video, I am going to walk through my part 3 of my lab project. So it says instructions, clean up the site, and just double check to make sure that you have everything and deploy it. Okay, so really I'm just going to focus on 3 things prior to deploy. So when I was working on this, I noticed 3 things that I wanted to do. One, some of my images were loading slowly, and I wanted to make that faster. I'll show you how I did that. 2, I wanted to make it responsive, and 3, I wanted to fix some of these labels that didn't quite make sense. Like this label used to be called favorites, and really it's places, right? But I hadn't decided that in the beginning, but I wanted it to match this right here. And I also changed that over here. Here's my lab project folder. I made my family folder instead of personal. Okay, fun times, hobbies instead of skills or good stuff. Places instead of favorites. Okay, so I just made these make more sense for my website. That did make me have to update all of my links, which was a bit of a pain, but I think it was worth it. It makes a lot of sense. For the mobile stuff, I added a class called No Mobile, which will hide stuff when we get to a small enough screen. So you'll notice that this is my, let me go to my home page here. So this is my home page. You'll notice that I added one more style sheet in here, and I called it MediaQuery.css because this is a style sheet that'll be used for many different pages. I could have just put it in a style.css, but one thing nice about putting it into MediaQuery.css is because then I can ensure that it's always coming after the styles no matter what. I can just have my media queries all in one place. Some people like to do this, some people don't. Some people will make a style sheet for each size rule. So they'll have like an 1800 pixel spreadsheet or sheet, and a 1200 pixel and a 900 pixel. I didn't do that much. I don't have that many rules in here. I can delete that. But let me show you guys what I did do. Okay. So looking at this, we have content. As the screen gets smaller, so this is huge, right? That'll take up 80% of the width of the screen. But as it gets smaller, I'm going to start seeing more of that width of the screen. Okay, and so I can show what that looks like if I hit inspect here. Let me move this over. Okay, so you can see right now there's a fair bit of margin on both sides. Let me just select this. I'll try that again. Select that one, and I want this right here. Okay, so this is our content div. But as I open this up, we can see these media queries on the right hand side changing. So right now it's at 80% width, and then I get smaller. And it'll get bigger. Now it's at 90% width, and I'll get smaller. And right there, it's at 98% width with just a margin of 1% on all sides. Okay. The only other thing that I really needed to change was making sure this image popped below. So let's look at how I did that. Let's see here. So it's inside of content, not content table. Content B and Flexbox. So Flexbox direction I said was column. Content B, I said order 2, which would make it come after the first one. I could put it above if I wanted to. I just set this at order 1, or order 1, and content A would be order 2. And then content B, I said, hey, width is going to be 90% with 2% padding on top and bottom, 5% on left and right. No mobile. Okay, that's when this will kick in. So anything with the no mobile class will disappear once we hit 750 pixels or less. And so let's watch what happens when I get down small enough. That collapses. These resize nicely. And there's my image that shows up below. Okay. And then you'll also notice that my nav bar font size changed. Okay, so it's a lot smaller there. And so no matter how small I get, we're going to be looking just fine here. Okay. I could also check this on a cell phone. So I think this is a Pixel 2. That's what this will look like on a Pixel 2. Looks pretty good. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my other ones. So this was a little bit tricky, right? If you remember, this used to be a table. Well, it still is a table. Okay, with the image here and the description right here, I thought it looked nice. But let me show you guys what I did to make those table cells kind of stack on top of each other, because it still is a table. Okay, I added a border bottom for the second TD. This is still a TD. This is still the second TD. And so let me show you guys how I did that. So if I go to, I think it was content table. Yeah. So content table, once we hit 900 pixels, I said, hey, let's make these to be display block. Previously, they were display inline block. But once we get small enough, I said, hey, display block. I actually didn't need this width 100%. It just did it for me. And then for the second TD child, I wanted to put a border on the bottom, just to kind of add a little separator between each one. Okay. Position relative. Margin top 40%. This was weird. Without that, there was just a lot of space between this title and the image, and I didn't like that. I wanted it to be closer to the image, just to make it easier to see that they go together. They're related. Okay. But that table class ends up working out really nicely for a nice small mobile like this. Like if I pull this up on a phone, let me open that up. You can see it looks good here. And then as I get bigger, once there's enough space, again, the table will be display inline block side by side, and it looks pretty decent across the board. Okay, fun times. I didn't have to do anything with because it uses that same content table class. So once I set up that content table for the places page, this just looked great. It automatically collapsed once those images got too small. Still has that border there. Okay, I could change that color on this page if I wanted to, and I could override it on this page if I wanted to. Okay, but again, same thing. Looks pretty good scrolling down all the way to as small as it gets. Okay, let's look at the next one. Hobbies. I thought I was going to have to do something with the list here, but if I scroll down on this one, you can see it collapses nicely. Again, it just stacks the cells on top of each other. Again, still have that border. And we can get nice and small here. Okay. One thing I might consider is having this font size change. That looked a little bit big just now. Let's look though. Oh, this UL stuff is for the nav bar. Okay, so once we got small enough, I said, hey, the nav bar LIs, well, I actually don't think we need that anymore. But right here, I just changed the font size, and I changed the amount of padding that was there. Okay. Let's look at the last one. So I didn't do anything with these ULs. So family, I had to do two separate things here. Oh, I need to fix this. Oops. I needed to do two separate things here. These three images I wanted to have stack, and this table isn't going to look good on mobile either. So once we got a little bit smaller, I went ahead and stacked these images. I'll show you guys how I did that. And then if we keep on getting smaller, I did the same thing with this table as I did with the other ones. I just stacked the table cells, and I put a border bottom on that last table cell, on that last TD. Okay, just to make it nice and readable. And now, no matter how small the screen gets, it's going to look just fine. Okay. Even though you never have a screen that small, if I pull this up on a pixel, that's what it'll look like here. Okay, looks pretty good. This isn't the best way to have a table be displayed. A lot of the time you'll see people have like an entire new HTML element that will only be displayed on mobile, and then they'll just hide the table altogether on mobile. And you could do that with a UL or even just a paragraph or something, but I thought this looked pretty decent. There isn't too much data in this table, and so I thought this looked just fine. So that's what that looks like. Interesting thing here. So, it's because I'm on that. This family member type is showing up like that because with my media query, So with that no mobile, I put that on there so you can see I have this no mobile family member type. I'm surprised yours isn't small. Interesting. Oh, it's gonna be small in a sec, guaranteed. What that one is. There we go. Okay, but both of those are gonna disappear once we get to a smaller screen, which allowed me to just take that table just a little bit further before I collapsed. Oh, the whole thing collapsed anyways. Oh, there it is. So yeah, so it allowed me to just take that a little bit further before I collapsed this whole table. Okay, and then once I really couldn't take it any further, I went ahead and collapsed it. So that's what it'll look like here. But the reason why that's showing up like that, I just need to add a rule in there. So if I go to, and these styles for the table I put directly into family. Okay, so I just put my media queries at the bottom of my family CSS because I don't use this table anywhere else. It didn't make sense to put it into this media query file because it's not going to be used by the whole site or even multiple pages. It's just going to be used here. Okay. So to find the, let's see here. So these guys right here, let's just fix those real fast. So span, no mobile. I can see the span font size is 18 pixels. And so if I could just take that off, it looks like that'll fix it for us. So it makes me wonder what size is this. If I click on age, that's a TH. That font size 25 pixels? That looks like it's 25. So I should probably just be able to do let's see here. Let's go back to family member. There's our span. Okay, so I'm just gonna go inside the table in T body. So I'm just gonna copy this path. Ooh, I think it's X path. We'll see. So and find where no mobile is collapsing. That's in our media query.css. No mobile is at 750 pixels. Okay, so let me find a 750 pixels in here.
Daddy, I'm just really hungry.
Okay, let me pause this. We'll get you some food. Okay, let's see here. 750 pixels. And I paste that. Okay, so that's kind of helpful. Except we know that this table is the family table. So we can shorten this up a little bit. So I have T body, TR, TH span. And then we also need to include this for TD. Okay, and we're just going to say font size is 5 pixels. Or, you know what I could do? I could say no mobile, because that's where I'm using it. And let me put an important on here as well. Okay, this is the family. Let's take it outside of this. So it says that that was overwritten. Okay, let's say, what if we just said font size inherit? There we go. I just need a space between number and type. Number, put right there. Okay, so that looks better. All right, so we're done cleaning things up. We're done with the media queries. I think all that looks really nice. Let's go ahead and make sure that we have everything here. So each page should have its own CSS file, check. Or in its own folder with its own images, check. Professional layout with media queries, check. Navbar looks the same, checks. And have valid links and valid HTML. So to check that, I won't check all of them here. I don't want to bore you guys. But if I wanted to check this HTML, I could just go to the W3 HTML validator. And I'll just go to direct input and I could paste this and check it. Okay, and it says no errors or warnings to show. And usually that's the case if you start off with that HTML template in VS Code and you're just kind of careful while you're going through. But if you do see any errors with any of your HTML files, you'll want to go ahead and fix those. And the project should have a professional architecture, check, and be published to the web. So this is going to be awesome. I'm going to go to a website called Netlify, and I did this in the reading as well. I showed a video of me doing this as well. So I have a website here. I'm going to go ahead and publish a new website. So I'm going to go to sites, and it says, want to deploy a new site without connecting to Git? Yes, I do. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to just right click on lab project and hit reveal in finder.
I barely woke up.
And my kids are waking up. So we have this lab project right here. I'm going to move this down here. And we'll give this a second to upload. Okay, it'll probably take about, it'll take about 10 seconds, less than 10 seconds. So I should be able to check this now. I guess it is a pretty small website. Here's my website. I could share this with anyone. I can click through here and see all my different pages. Okay, it should have all of my responsiveness. Ooh, that GIF's moving kind of slow. I might want to resize that. I resized all of my PNGs. Oh, I forgot to show you guys how I did that. Okay, but it looks like, this is my site. Okay, so two things that I'm going to do real quick. I'm just going to go to site settings, change site name, and I'll just say Nathan Birch Bio. Oh, Nathan Bio. Nathan Bio. Okay. Then I can come to this link. That's a little bit more friendly of a link. Okay. And then let me show you guys how I did my images real fast. So now that that's deployed, I'm just going to go to, I usually just Google Png Image Compressor. And this tiny PNG one is my favorite. If you have massive files, you'll have to find a different one just for those files until it gets smaller. But I love that I can take multiple files. So like for my fun times, well, let's see here. Hobbies, I have a bunch of images, right? So I'm just going to open this up in my Finder. And then I'll just put Chrome behind this so that I can drag these in. Let me close that. Move this over. I can just select all of these and move them in here. It'll go through all of them. Look, it's still compressing them even though I already did this. Oh, that one's 224. And that's a tiny image too. Oh well.
Daddy?
Hang on 1 second. Okay, so it shows how much it compressed them all by. I'll hit download. And then I can open this up with Finder, unzip it, and then all of these I just want to put in place of these. So I'm going to delete these old ones. And then I'm going to move this over so I can see it a little better. And then I'm just going to drag and drop all of these into my images folder. Okay, so my website will keep on working just fine, but it's really easy to just do a bunch of them and compress all of your files. So I did that with like this wedding picture was huge. It was like 20 megabytes or something like that, and now it's sitting at a couple hundred kilobytes. So makes it a lot faster, makes it a lot more pleasant of experience for the user. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this. We just finished up our project with media queries, cleaning things up, compressing images, and deploying it. So if you do have any questions, let me know, but I hope that this was helpful for you.